Oh, when the guff comes marching in. Oh, when the guff comes marching in. Ain't Them Bodies Saints from 2013. This is a crime, drama, and romance movie. And it is directed by David Lowery. And he also wrote this. And this was his first feature. So, very good. Very good. This reminds me of Terrence Malick, that type of movie. It's like poetry on film. And you may know Terrence Malick. He also directed Badlands and Days of, what was it? Oh, can't think of it. But The Thin Red Line was another one. And there was one with Colin Farrell. Oh, I can't think of it. Anyway, and he likes to shoot at dusk and dawn. So the lighting is very, very unusual. That sort of special lighting time. Um, and David Lowery's also directed Pete's Dragon, and all these things he's directed, he's also written or had a hand in writing. A Ghost Story, The Old Man and the Gun, The Green Knight, Peter Pan and Wendy. And I haven't seen A Ghost Story. I've seen The Old Man and the Gun. That was okay. Green Knight, good. I like that one. And I haven't seen Peter Pan and Wendy. And yeah, so we have a great cinematographer here as well, Bradford Young, who also shot Arrival, The Most Violent Year, Solo, A Star Wars Story, and Selma. So yeah, great people behind the camera on this, and going for a sort of a Terrence Malick feel, and nothing wrong with that. I like Terrence Malick, and yeah, Rooney Mara stars in this with Casey Affleck, and they're a young couple who are in love but decide to go on a, what would you say, decide to go on a decide to rob a shop or a bank or something, but they get caught and they have a bit of a gunfight. And Ruth, who Rooney Mara plays, shoots one of the cops, and they get captured. Now she gets released because Bob, played by Casey Affleck, takes the fall for everything. But a friend they're with as well gets shot and killed, and his father is played by Keith Carradine, who plays Skerritt. Okay, let's talk about the cast here. We have Rooney Mara playing Ruth Guthrie, and she was also in Nightmare Alley, Pan, Carol, Her, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Social Network, Nightmare on Elm Street remake, Side Effects, and A Ghost Story, which was also directed by the director David Lowery. Casey Affleck was also in A Ghost Story, and he's also been in Manchester by the Sea, A Ghost Story, The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, The Old Man and the Gun, 999, Interstellar, Good Will Hunting, Gone Baby Gone, Tower Heist. So we've got two very strong and two very good actors in this. Also, we have Ben Foster, who plays Patrick Wheeler, and he's the cop who is shot by Ruth. And Ben Foster has also been in Hell or High Water, 310 to Yuma remake, The Messenger, Leave No Trace. And yeah, also very good. He's a lot of great roles. And we have Nate Parker plays Sweetie, who's a friend of Bob. And Sweetie helps Bob. Bob escapes from the prison that's holding him. And Sweetie helps him out, and when he does escape. And Sweetie's played by Nate Parker, and you may have seen him in Nonstop, Arbitrage, Red Tails, and The Birth of a Nation. Now, Keith Carradine, who I also mentioned, you've seen him in Nashville, The Old Man and the Gun, The Duelists, The Long Riders, and Southern Comfort. Now before Ruth and Bob committed the robbery with his son, Skerritt, it was like a a father figure to Ruth and Bob. He basically took them under his wing and gave them somewhere to stay, and yeah, he was a father figure to them. So he felt very betrayed when they committed this crime. But even though this happened, he still looked after Ruth and her daughter, who was born not long after Bob goes to prison. So we have this broken romance between Ruth and Bob. Bob escapes prison and comes looking for Ruth. And yeah, I don't want to spoil this too much, but there's sort of a love triangle here because Patrick Wheeler is he's fallen in love with Ruth as well. And so yeah, what we have here is yeah, a slow burning drama. It does feel like, I mean, when I went into this, I thought it was directed by Terrence Malick. I didn't know who directed it, and when it started off, I didn't question who directed it. I thought it was Terrence Malick, but this is yeah, this is, as I said, this is David Lowery who's directed this, and one of the other things that happens in this is we get these three bounty hunters arriving in the town that seem to be on a mission, and they stir a lot of things up and bring a lot of yeah trouble to the town, and that's never explained fully where they came from, but they're there, and yeah, another part of this story. But yeah, this yeah, as I said, this was a bit of a slow burn. Not much happens, um, but it's one of those movies that feels like yeah, it's not trying to. It's just giving a simple story about people in love, people trying to reconnect, and people trying to just survive in life. And yeah, it's telling a very intimate story about these three people. And as I said, Scarrett, played by Keith Carradine, is the father figure. He wants Bob to stay away from Ruth, and he's very feels very strongly about that, and he has some issues with Bob coming back into Ruth's life, and so yeah, that's what you get here. Drama. It looks great, great actors, but this isn't a big heist movie, or more of an intimate story, and it's very well told. It's yeah, it's a three, I suppose a 3.5 from me, and yeah, and if you like Terrence Malick, you'll like this. Brad MacGuffin reviewing Ain't Them Bodies Saints. Brad MacGuffin's just reviewed